I've always, when I was, okay, this is my last story, okay? Is it okay? Is this boring to tell you a story? Okay. And I'm gonna tell you a story real quick. So, you remember how I told you that middle school was terrible for me, and that's when art started for me? Well, I made one friend in middle school. I had one. And his name was Donald. And he was this big, tough dude. It was like, I was very tiny, believe it or not, I was very tiny. And he was very big. And he had this long, beautiful, black, curly hair that went all the way down here. And he was the kickboxing champion of the US for his age group. It was very... So I made friends with him because I was afraid of him. It's a secret. You try to make friends with the scariest kid and then it's like... So I don't know how it happened, to be honest with you. I think he was so vicious and scary that everybody kind of just stayed away from him. But when he would say something, he was actually really funny. And so when he'd say something and everybody was scared of him, I'd be like, ha! And I think he just like noticed that. He's like, oh, this guy he knows my jokes. And so we became friends, and Donald was, as we went on, so this was just a few weeks into school, right? And then I saw my first school fight, and it was so vicious to me, it made me sick to my stomach. I remember how it happened was this kid spit on Donald. We were walking, and there was this 8th grader, and he spit a loogie on Donald, and he was like, you think you're tough? I know you think you're tough, what are you, like kickboxer dude, whatever, and he spit on him, and then they got in a fight, and I just like stood there, and I was a really bad friend, and I just watched these two people fight, and I felt so sick to my stomach, because I had like been raised in this really plastic bubble that was like very protected, so for me it was very overwhelming, and I was also just like, I was afraid, and so I didn't do anything. Anyway, so Donald kind of won, I think, but they both just beat each other up. And me and Donald over the years became really good friends. And man, this is going to be a sad story a little bit, but there's a reason behind it, okay? We became really good friends throughout the years. And Donald always kind of stuck to his own, and he was like the person that people called when they were going to get into a fight, and they would call him, and they would have him come over and like fight people because he was really good at fighting. So we got into high school, and we're still friends, and I never got into fights, so I never was like, hey Donald, come beat up this kid for me or something. But anyway, I was like, doing guitar and stuff. And I feel so bad, the band is like, sorry guys. Anyway, so long story short, Donald actually was never a bully. He got bullied his whole life because there was always some kid who had something to prove, who was like, I'm tougher than Donald, and he would get in fights sometimes, and sometimes he got beat up and sometimes he didn't, and then I came out on the road, and as I've been out here on the road, I've neglected so much of my friends and family because I've been gone for so many years, and Donald would reach out, and we kept in touch kind of a bit, but not enough, and eventually Donald got in a bad place and he took his life, and that is one of the reasons that I'm so passionate about mental health, because it was devastating to me to lose somebody, and I just want to say the reason I share this, and I'm sorry for the heaviness of tonight, but I want you to know this because it will help you understand Believer, was he was such a beautiful soul, and it was devastating to me to see that people bullied him and made him feel less because he was unique. They'd make fun of his hair because it was long and curly, and they'd make fun of his skin because he was dark. And so it's gotten me to a point where I really want to create a change in the world so that we can see past those boundaries. And I feel like it's my way to pay back Donald, because I wasn't there for him as a friend, and in the time that he needed me the most. And so this second verse of the song, this has a line in it. It says, says all the hate that you heard is from your spirit to God. Because all the hate that Donald had to endure ended up being too much for him. And so my message tonight is, no matter what your position is, no matter how much you've been bullied, please never take your life. Never, 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 never. And so, and then on top of that, never bully anyone. And don't judge them. Don't judge them for their gender, don't judge them for their color, don't judge them for their class, don't judge them for their hair, for their acne. It's all so plastic. It's like this shell. And we're so intelligent. We have like these incredible brains and we just judge each other for this. It's like a shell, it's nothing. It's so meaningless. So, anyway, that's what Believer is about, and so we're gonna play it, and you're gonna have to sing it because this is way too high. I can't sing any of this, so here we go. This will be our last song. Thank you for being here. We're Imagine Dragons. Love you guys.